100 amp 2-pole breaker, which is also an additional purchase. Attach the wires to the left side of the breaker, which feeds the EVSE. On the right side of the breaker, feed and attach the wires to the EVSE terminal block at the top right of the MID. It's set on a slight angle. From the 100 amp breaker, the wires run through the wire trough, then through conduit to the disconnect servicing the EVSE. From the disconnect, the wires travel to the EVSE through the left bottom knockout port to the bottom left terminal. Here's a quick look at the EVSE disconnect with wiring complete. Here are the lines connected from the disconnect to the EVSE. When installing the AC wires to the EVSE, you'll need to use anti-thermal event crimps on the AC feeders. This is necessary because of the high amperage going through them for long periods of time. This can generate a lot of heat in this small area. Note that the crimps are a very tight fit and can take a few tries before getting them completely secured. Torque all 3 lugs to 33 inch-pounds. Next, install the Wi-Fi antenna at the bottom of the MID. Remove the dust cap. Attach the antenna. Connect the communications port from the MID to the BDI with a 5-wire communications cable. Make sure to use THHN copper wire for interconnections. Communication wires must be plenum-rated shielded cable for all communication connections. The connecting ports are labeled SYN, A1, A2, B1, and B2. The terminals through the system are marked with the connecting terminal's name. The MID communication port within the BDI is located on the bottom right of the component. It is labeled MID. When installing the wires, use a small flathead screwdriver to push in the above square to open the internal clamp. This is the communication port on the EVSE that connects to the BDI. This is the communication port on the BDI that connects to the EVSE. It's important to pay attention to the designations below each port. CAN-L wire on the EVSE is attached to L port on the BDI. CAN-H on the EVSE is attached to the H port on the BDI. DS is attached to DS and EPO is attached to EPO. After wiring the EVSE communication port, take a picture as a reference when wiring the BDI. The torque setting is 3.5 inch-pounds. Here in the BDI, we will install the 12-volt lines to both the MID and the EVSE in this terminal block. The red and black wires on the right go to the MID. In the upper left-hand corner of the MID, you see the 12-volt terminal block. This is where you connect these 2 wires. Next, we install the 12-volt red and black lines to these ports on the left. These lines feed the EVSE. This is the 12-volt port that connects the BDI. Torque each wire to 3.5 inch-pounds. In the EVSE, locate the 2 empty DC terminals at the bottom far left. Install the anti-thermal event crimps on the DC feeders. The red wire enters the far left terminal. The black wire is to its left. Pull down the orange levers to secure each wire. Within the BDI, connect the DC feeders to this port on the far left. This will be feeding the inverter with DC power. The 60 amp breaker is included in the MID from the factory. This 60 amp breaker feeds to the BDI. In the event of an outage, the power will be reversed and sent back through the 60 amp breaker. It will then travel through the 125 amp breaker back to the original main panel, which is now a sub-panel for the entire home. Install the wires from the 60 amp breaker to the BDI.